Keep commenting. This is only gonna get worse. I'm bloodied from battle at the moment. We've been packing the studio. So far we've packed nothing, but I've been bloodied by the tape machine. Let's talk about the stuff that we're supposed to talk about, guys. We got some games coming up. We're gonna talk about how crazy Chinese surveillance is getting. And the reason I want to talk about that is because YouTube's not available in China. People in China probably are not watching this unless they're on a VPN, but it's important for us to take a look at what they're doing over there, because technologically right now and infrastructure-wise, they're ahead of us. But there's a lot of ideas that are going to be trickling into Western society, and I think this is one of them. So we'll talk about that in just a second, but first let's just have a little bit of fun here. C-Speed, manufacturer from Austria, they've partnered up before with like Ferrari and stuff and made these giant outdoor LCD TVs and stuff. Now they've gone crazy and released a 262-inch 4K TV. At 262 inches, that is approximately the size of one horse front to tail, or 1.7 donkeys. Everything today will be done in barnyard animal measurements. 48 rabbits high. Anyway, so 262-inch screen. So this is going to be an LCD backlit screen. Only going to cost $500,000. Who's getting one? You guys getting one? You can get like the best projector on the market for like 5 to 10 grand, that range, like a really, really good consumer projector. Or hell, you can go out and buy a movie theater projector and put up a movie screen and build an entire movie theater in your house for less than the cost of that 262-inch screen. Tom Wheeler, the former director of the FCC, when he first came into power, everyone was going crazy because like, this guy used to be a lobbyist. He's going to totally screw us all. And you even have John Oliver saying it's like putting a jackal in the nursery or something like that. I don't remember what he said, but everyone was just making fun of him. And then he actually kind of looked after us as a community and did things to keep the monopolies from completely screwing us. And now, what is his name? Ajit Pai, he's in charge, and he basically is just complete shill for Comcast and Verizon and all those guys. And he's doing everything he can to, strip away net neutrality so that they can create their fast lanes and do anything they want and basically control the way we are delivered internet. It's interesting because, Tom Wheeler has been coming out and saying, like, guys, all this is going to do is help monopolies. He's asking questions like, who's going to stand up for the consumers? He's reminding everybody that, like, listen, 800 entrepreneurs have signed this thing saying that this is going to really hurt them. But you got 4 big monopolies saying, like, we want this. And so, Ajit Pai is just like, you know what, we're going to ignore all the stuff on our website. All the people who've written in, gazillion people who've written in saying, like, we don't want this. We're going to ignore that. We're going to ignore all the entrepreneurs writing in letters. And we're just going to go with these 4 big companies and whatever they say. He's not even trying to hide it. He's just like, no, guys, I don't work for you. I work for these guys. Sorry. So it's interesting that Tom Wheeler, after all this time, is still sort of out there fighting the good fight. A guy who I thought was on the wrong side has now surprised me. So Tom, thanks for speaking up a little bit. Anyway, let's go over to China. Let's talk about the way surveillance works in China, and let's talk about some of the things that they're doing with it, because it's not just being used to surveil their citizens. It's sort of permeated into all aspects of the society, and we're seeing some of that kind of stuff here. So right now, Chinese surveillance, they've got a couple 100 million cameras up surveilling people. They've got facial recognition. Everyone has an ID by the time I believe they're 16. And, there's facial recognition all over the place. They're planning on increasing that number to 600 million by 2020. So 600 million cameras, all surveilling all the time, all over China. And China is a bit, a bit tighter about a lot of different things. They also surveil churches because I think it's kind of funny. They see that as a strange activity. People who go to churches and mosques, they want to keep an eye on them because strange activity. But let's just talk about some of the other things that they use cameras for. So KFCs in China, they can use cameras to, if they don't know who you are, they can, they do facial recognition in KFC. And if they know who you are, they're like, great, we're going to recommend the stuff that you like. But if they don't know who you are, they're like, okay, you look to be a male aged 40. Males aged 40 typically like these foods, and they start recommending you things based upon the way you look as far as your age and sex goes. Another thing, they use camera systems to keep people from stealing toilet paper from public toilets. For instance, it looks at your face, you go into the toilet, it will only allow you to pull 2 feet of toilet What the hell is that? It'll only allow you to pull 2 feet of toilet paper out at a time, and then you have to wait 9 minutes. So if you see some guy like outside being like, IBS man, I gotta keep going in there and getting the toilet paper, no, he's just waiting every 9 minutes so he can go steal a bunch of toilet paper. I guess that's that big of a problem, stealing toilet paper. Here's another thing that's pretty interesting. Police cars, right? They've already got the system tested and working. They have cameras mounted all over the police cars that scan in real time everyone's face as they're driving around. They've tested it. It works up to 120 kilometers per hour. Just flying by the interstate, it'll scan everybody's face on the sidewalk, everything, and then it can notify the driver, hey, there's somebody over there. Yeah, they said some nasty things about the government. You need to go over there and flog them, or that's not what they do. But they go over there and grab them. There's someone over here who shoplifted. Go get them. So they're going to do that. And they're also working on an army of drones that can float around and take pictures of people's faces. And therefore, they'll always know where you are, number one. And number two, if you've done anything wrong, they'll be able to notify, got him, he's right here. We're talking like Half-Life 2 levels of like stuff floating around being like, wait, there you are. Why are we talking about China and what's going on over there? Well, because a lot of these things are probably going to trickle into other societies with the guise of keeping us safe. Over there, it's like, they're monitoring. I'm not sure if they're like saying we're trying to keep people safe. That's just what they're doing. That they keep an eye on everything. But in Western society, they always coddle you and say like, no, this is for the children, so people are not going to kidnap them. This is for our safety. This is so that terrorists don't, commit atrocities. We're doing all these things to make sure that, all the people who look like we do are safe, and everyone who looks different from us, well, those are the ones we've got to worry about. It's the way it works in Western society. Those people with the funny hairdos and the beards and the different color skin, watch out for them. That's what all this surveillance is for, guys. Don't worry about it. We got you covered. So some of these things may start to trickle into our society. We've already got facial recognition and that sort of thing. And a lot of that's being done here for marketing. We've got Amazon exploding right now. And we're going to start seeing some Amazon brick and mortar stores. So let's bring that up next as our next interesting article here. Amazon, 85 million Prime members. They're in about 60 to 70% of the U.S. households. And Amazon Prime is where you can sign up and get your shipping for free and get like some free TV shows and all that kind of stuff. And they've just bought out, Whole Foods, so they've got their retail now. And they're also looking into expanding retail with their facial recognition technology so that you can just walk in, they scan your face, they know who you are, you grab a bunch of stuff and then you walk out without paying and it bills your Amazon account. So Amazon's using facial recognition in that way, and by buying Whole Foods, I've heard a lot of articles and stuff, a lot of people on the news, pundits and talking heads and stuff, they're all like, yes, now they've gone into the retail and all that sort of thing, and they didn't really talk about the whole facial recognition and also just cross-marketing. When you walk in, they know what you buy in Whole Foods. They're going to, this is what's going to happen, guys. They'll know what you buy in Whole Foods, and then when you go back to Amazon, they'll be like, oh, you bought some creme fraiche, and why don't you grab some of this caviar here on Amazon? We can have it shipped to you tomorrow. What do you think? It's just going to happen. And then we're going to have the government coming to all these different companies like Amazon and Google, because they're doing a better job at it than the government is. I mean, these are technology companies, and the government's not really known for their technology prowess. They're going to come to Amazon and Google, and they're going to be asking them, hey, could you guys give us some information on these guys? And then we're going to have a situation where these companies have more power than the government. Even more power than they already have more power than the government. They're going to have even more power than the government, and it's going to be controlled by information. The army of drones. I wonder if Amazon's they've got the delivery drones and they're trying to get that going in several different markets, and then we also have a few different cities in the country that are allowing delivery robot drones. I wonder if Amazon is going to start taking these drones and doing something different with them. So I was in my van full of cats last night, and I was thinking about all this, right? Amazon, they've got their army of drones. They're probably going to start mounting cameras on the bottom of those drones. Now, they keep saying they just want to know like the marketing data so that they can use it for their own purposes. But let's not forget about the dread pirate Bezos. He's a man who likes to control things. And he's also someone who's operating Amazon, a company that's really convenient for all of us, and they're barely making a profit because of the way he's operating. Where's all that money going? Well, Amazon is going to be the new government, guys. That's just pretty much the way it's going to be. And they're going to do so with an army of drones and robots. They don't have to worry about the humans. So they're going to control all the data, and then they're going to have the drones and robots. And the interesting thing about all this, this whole entire thing's not going to happen with a war of physical means. There's not going to be any tanks rolling down the street. No one's going to be shooting. I mean, there may be a little bit of that kind of stuff, looting and all that kind of stuff. But right now, what's really going to happen is Amazon's going to go to all the people in charge and be like, yeah, here's all the information we have on you, and here's all the information we have on you, and here's all the information we have on you. Do you guys want us to release this to the public, or are you going to get out of our way? If you get out of our way, here's a wonderful chunk of money in severance packages. Isn't that what you wanted in the first place, you fat cat? You didn't really care about the people, you just wanted the money. We'll take care of all that. You guys can still maybe show up and do some speeches here and there, but we're going to take over from here, and then it'll be the Dread Pirate Bezos all the way. That's what's going to happen. Amazon is the new China of America. You want government prime? Well, yeah, you pay a certain fee, and then you're allowed to use certain roads. And if your car turns down a road that it's not supposed to, the thing's going to scan and be like, you're not using them. This is a prime-only road. Up come the spikes, down go your tires. So you got to pay for the prime if you want to take the prime routes, if you want to have prime services, good health care, that'll be the way of it. Pay-to-play government, similar to what we have now. So a bunch of guys at the University of Washington created a battery-free cell phone that works on ambient, just signals floating around, and also ambient light. That's how it derives its power. So this device actually has a microphone and a speaker and a capacitive touch area where you can dial. It will allow you to make Skype calls and stuff like that. But if you want to make a Skype call, you have to dial the number or whatever. It'll connect to Skype through a client on your computer. But then you can actually talk using the device. And they're talking about like, oh, this is the future as far as like you won't need a battery or anything like that. There's no apps on it. That's the big thing. Is like it's just a dumb little device that sits in your hand, but it works using just the ambient power. That's just a few microwatts of power. Now, if we can make these devices way, way, way more efficient, then we might be able to talk about something. But right now, there's no screen, of course, no apps, not really much other than just a few little pieces on there. But there is a microphone and a speaker. You can plug in your headphones and listen, so enough for that. Damn. Normally, we go check out what everybody's playing, but this week we got a special delivery in from Best Buy. Friggin' Best Buy. Something we talked about a week ago, so let's go check out this computer we bought. Yeah.
Did you order this from Best Buy?
I did order that from Best Buy.
What the hell you
ordered something from Best Buy?
This is pre-built? We don't pre-build anything.
We got a pre-built system from Best Buy. Look at this thing. All right, let's see what's inside here.
Oh, you got an inconspicuous black box. The cheapest keyboard in the world.
Membrane keyboard. Doesn't feel too bad though. Oh, tempered glass. Which case is this? Is the
It is tempered glass.
Phoenix? What is this?
Oh, it's got an MSI motherboard. I see the I/O
MSI
shield.
board, huh?
Yeah.
Let's open it up and see what we got here. So this was $630, and the graphics card alone is selling for over $500.
$500 if you're lucky.
If you're lucky, yeah.
Very professionally packed. There you go.
B350M Bazooka. Not really too crazy about this one as far as overclocking goes, but it should do the trick. They just put one stick of RAM in there.
It's got one. 8 gigs of RAM, I think it was.
Okay, so 8 gigs of RAM running in single channel.
Performance, that's what this PC is. It's got a Ryzen 5 1400, the lowest of the low Ryzen chips right now.
All right, so what's it all worth?
Well, we got a $140-ish CPU. Single channel RAM's not really worth anything.
No.
As a kid, it might have been worth 70 or 80 bucks.
I think we've actually got an 8 gig stick lying around somewhere, but I'm not sure if it's going to be the same. Maybe we'll get it lucky and it'll both be Hynix or something.
Actually has a B350 board, means that while it doesn't have a fast Ryzen 5 quad core, it's still overclockable. So that is nice. They're all Black Edition chips. B350 will facilitate that overclocking a little bit. And the RX 480, or 580, my bad.
Yes, it's 580 in there.
It's, well, you know, everyone knows they're pretty much the same card.
Yeah, you can game on that just fine.
That's reasonably good for gaming at up to 1440p, and as everyone knows, these things are hot for mining. RGB lighting strip up at the front.
Whoa, the value went up just now.
Yeah, well now this whole PC we can't disassemble this. This is a complete kit. Actually, you know what? I think I've got just the thing for this. I think we're gonna have to make this machine a little better here.
Let's see. This is the install stuff and all the cords, and it came with this gaming mouse here.
Uh-huh. No idea what's in there.
Boy, that is gamer aesthetic to no end.
Well, the buttons feel awful, but the coating doesn't feel too bad, and it fits my hand all right.
Ew.
Let's hear from Doug, shall we?
If you can smell it, it's inside your nose. feces, sulfur, paint thinner, desiccating biomass, crusty people's body odor, the state of New Jersey, you name it, it's there.
Well, Jesus, I have the willies all up my spine.
I think I need an adult. So the team behind PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, or PUBG, has guaranteed that they will be leaving early access by October. Like, they have this kind of honor sense that they have right now, and they want to get it done. They originally said that they never intended to have it more than 6 months in pre-alpha anyways, but now they're really pushing for it and kind of making this guarantee. They use the word guaranteed.
So, what I'm hearing here is that, okay, even if it's not finished, we're going to call it finished because so many people have bought it to legitimize it.
Yeah.
It does work. People do play it. People stream it all day long. So, come 6 months, if it's not done, we're just going to be like, or you're just going to be like, yeah, it's done. We'll make it done. Maybe that's what they'll do.
Well, they claimed that because they're using the Unreal Engine, a lot of people were being like, oh, what about, DayZ and all those other things and stuff that were like, oh, this has been taking for 1,000 years and they still haven't come out yet. It's because they're using the Unreal Engine instead of either using a antique engine, as they put it, or building their own complete engine.
Yeah,
they're already using something that's got a lot of support and a lot of work going into it constantly anyways. So
I mean,
they said it
Rocket
needs to be
Hall
there.
may...
So I wonder if this is also going to include that cross-platform play that they talked about last week.
God, I hope
That they
not.
were, if all that's going to be included in the next 6 months.
Beyond Skyrim is...
Oh, Bruma? Yeah,
the first
Beyond
one is...
Skyrim Bruma.
The first has been released. You're back in Cyrodiil.
Yes, the northernmost city in Cyrodiil, and this is a revisiting of the place that's supposed to kind of pick up where they left off in Oblivion with it, so it's trying to now show what's been going on since Oblivion.
You have two different timelines, but you have a lot of similar locations. So they're going to have to take that into account. And then also, they plan to, pretty much fully realize Cyrodiil. They've got the whole, topo map in the game already. It's huge. I mean, it's the full Cyrodiil. So they're going to bring that all the way back in there. You've got all these different cities. They're adding tons of quests, dungeons.
New textures, new items,
Right.
new
Voice
work.
yeah.
Yeah, they said like 24,000 lines of new voice work.
I mean, this is like a full-on game all to itself.
It's actually larger than the Dragonborn DLC in terms of content, which is pretty big.
I know nothing of these matters, but
So-
I'll speak of it.
Good news, bad news. Overwatch is finally giving you Doomfist. Just came out today, but by the time this
Sounds
will
like a
actually
really awful STD.
like, oh, I got
you're-
Doomfist. But they finally announced him. You can check him out in the PTR right now, and everyone's pretty excited because this guy has been in the lore since the beginning of the goddamn game. Downside, I did mention there was some bad news. It is not voiced by Terry Crews. Everybody wanted it to be Terry Crews, and it's not going to be, so basically it's pretty much pointless to live.
We'll try to make an episode next week. We'll be in the process of moving, though.
Yeah, it might be. We'll let you know.
Yeah.
Or not.
And,
You can't buy this shirt, but can you buy this shirt?
yeah, you can
at
buy
a
the
store?
shirt right here. Just look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. It's got some fuzz on it from those boxes I was carrying.
I'm wearing some
you go.
off-brand nonsense. Oh, look,
We're just marketing right now.
everyone's doing better than me today.
You can buy this one too.
Yes.
It's the truth.
And you should, or I'll whip your ass.
Cool.
Bend you over my knee. And I will just wear you out, young man, woman, whoever you are.
Cat.
Cat.